Alrighty, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you right now with some fight introduction music. Okay, we have, that might be a little bit loud actually, but who cares? Spawning in the west, playing as the blue Austere forces, it is PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. And spawning in the east, playing as the Soviet forces, it's Talisman. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a rematch! These two gentlemen having just played a game on Semioski Winter. The map here is going to be Kolodny Farm Winter. Okay, I think that's probably enough of the fight intro music. Hang on, let's fade out. Yeah, fading out for the win. Sorry, I just thought this is such an epic rematch that we kind of needed some, like, different some kind of added spice there for the intro. Hope you all enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't like the volume could have just been like deafening. I hope you could all hear me. In fact, you know what? If you couldn't hear me, spawning in the west, it's PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. Spawning in the east, it's Talisman. There we go. Boom! These two players, both fantastic, epic players. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, I've been casting him tons on the channel recently, and he is a monster who has been tearing it up on the ladder recently. These two people, Talisman and PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, did just play each other. It will be the previous video on my channel, so do go back and watch that before I totally spoil the result for you here in just a second. Talisman, he is probably the most talented Company of Heroes 2 player in Finland. There's probably an argument for him being the most talented Company of Heroes 2 player in Europe. I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying you could try and argue that. Like, that's how good he is. Possibly in the world, actually. You know what? Because he's been at the top of the standings league for so long with so many different races. Anyway, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen going straight to the chase here. Literally, the chase, as he chases in here with these mechanized assault grenadiers. I love it. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen here, having been defeated just now by Talisman, so it is a 1-0 to Talisman. Going to be mixing things up a bit, and I like that. I like the pivot. I like the change of strat. If things didn't go your way, try something different. And now, you know, to some extent, he has to do that because of the map. But this is very different. It is not often we see the lesser spotted garden assault grenadiers. So anyway, there comes a fallback on the assault grenadiers. Hopefully, they won't get picked off by these conscripts. No, I don't think they are. And looks like another fight going on up here in the north of the map. These pioneers going to be forced back, and whoa, a little bit of lag there, but there we go. Now we're here. So yeah. Let's see. Sorry, just having a quick stretch. So yeah, Angreifen here. Obviously, he's gone for mechanized assault doctrine. A fine choice. Probably still the most like. In a vacuum, you know, map and circumstances notwithstanding, probably still the most like powerful in inverted commas austere commander. It just gives you so many things and lets you ignore so much of the tech tree, and it's just a really good commander. And if you're playing austere and you don't have this guy on your roster, you really should put him on because he's just really good, and it'll also spook your opponent a little bit. Like, your opponent has to think about whether you're going to pick it or not. So it's just, even if you're never going to choose it, I would recommend putting it on your roster just so you can threaten the pick, basically. Anyway, looks like so far this map pretty much playing out as you might expect. Talisman, because he forced back the pioneers in the north, is going to be claiming that region of the map. You can see that right now. But Angreifen, ever the clever cutter-offerer, going to be cuttering off Talisman. So that's good. Going to be reducing the resource advantage that Talisman might otherwise have been gaining from dominating the map, or the north of the map even. And where are these grenadiers? Angreifen, there we go. Yeah, they were trading pretty terribly there for a little bit too long, but Angreifen on top of it, going to get the fallback there in nice time. In fact, MG42 getting set up with a lovely arc here, going to start hosing down those conscripts a little bit. So that's also nice here for Angreifen, who has a little something to prove. There's a little bit of a vendetta, and these guys didn't have a break or anything. This is just straight into game 2, so I don't know if stamina, nerves, or anything like that is going to be an issue. Let's see. Right now for me, it's like early afternoon, which means that for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, he'll be like a couple of hours ahead of me, so no reason why he ought to be tired. Talisman is... No, wait, sorry, it's Talisman who's from Finland. Sorry, so he'll be a couple of hours ahead of me. Oh, good job, I'm confusing myself, damn it. Yeah, so Talisman's in Finland. He'll be a couple of hours ahead of me. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, he must be European, like, because he's always on when I'm on, and his name is fluently spelled German, so I'm going to guess he's maybe German? I don't know. No idea. But anyway, these assault grenadiers are getting up to so much mischief, by the way. They're already 1-star vet, which gives them what? Oh, field first aid, that ever useful ability. Hooray. Sniper team going to be on the field, so special rifle command actually going to be the choice here. Yep, there it is. And there's no clown car. Wow, this is just for marksman at the moment. So yeah, Talisman going to be trying to prove his chops with the Soviet marksman. This will be exciting, and you can bet he's going to be freaking amazing with them. I mean, he's just... Let's take some bets now, ladies and gentlemen. How many kills do you think these scout snipers are going to get? 20? 30? 40? 20? 25? I don't know. I don't even know. I just actually have no idea. Looks like another scuffle here amid. Conscripts, Grenadiers going to be doing their thing. This ought to be one that the Grenadiers should take, cover being even. They are more accurate. Now here come those marksmen now to try and redress the balance of power in this fight. And let's just quickly check the tech. So battle phase 1 has come down. Like the Mechanized Company. I don't know actually, because like the Mechanized Company is, to some extent, you can delay it a bit with this commander. I don't recommend it. I actually just like building it because 222s and pack guns are still just worthy units. You know, you can get PanzerGrenadiers but from the call-in here, and PanzerGrenadiers can buy Shreks, so you can kind of get heavy AT without having to build the Like the Mechanized Company, but I still don't like skipping it. I still think that he really should buy the Like the Mechanized Company, so hopefully we'll see that come down here. In fact, yeah, there it is. Boom. The marksmen here getting forced away with a considerable amount of damage in them. Those Grenadiers getting some nice hits, so that's good. Conscripts here going to respond nicely, though, for Talisman. Meanwhile, another scuffle up here in the north. Looks like these Assault Grenadiers are actually just doing so much... Seems to me like Talisman is perhaps not quite used to playing against the Assault Grenadiers early on. And to be fair, who is? It's a rare day that this unit gets to see its time in the sun. But, like, I don't know. Every time I see it, like, these guys always seem to do well. And, like, just mixing in one squad's worth of them, they almost always seemingly go on up to 3 stars, because they're 5 men, so they're quite a durable squad. They're quite survivable. And they do just give you a nice little bit of pushing power. And let's not forget, they have sprint and a grenade barrage, which, you know, Austere don't get access to the infiltration grenade package. So that's a rare luxury for the Austere faction. Looks like those marksmen now healed and are coming back on out to the front. The victory points situation right now, about a 50-point lead, or yep, for Talisman. So, again, pretty much in line with what you might expect from your average Soviets versus Austrian matchup. Marksman here going to try and take a shot. Getting a bit close to those Assault Grenadiers, though. And now shock troops are arriving. Oh, that's right. You know what we haven't talked about is Talisman's commander pick. Whoa, pro-casting, Magpie, pro-casting. Yeah, he picked this commander, like, right at the start, pretty much. He's going for the counter-attack tactics. There it is on the screen. Hit pause if you want to overview those abilities at your leisure. But yeah, one of the sweeter commanders from the olden days. This was a commander that I used to rock for quite a long time, way back. I used to play this commander reasonably frequently. I don't really like it very much anymore, but if it's good enough for Talisman, I may consider using it again someday. Basically, yeah, shock troops are good, and they're on the field now. In fact, those guys are pretty much just a hard counter for Assault Grenadiers. Oh dear, yeah, that fight's not going to look good. But anyway, yeah, shock troops are on the field, and in fact, they're just now revealing themselves, so let's see if Angreifen's paying attention. Sometimes you can get caught off guard by the first shocks to arrive. Nope, he's on it. Flash fallback comes down. Sometimes you can get caught off guard by the first shocks and they can just like wipe one of your units with a quick grenade. That does happen occasionally. But Angreifen made of sterner stuff, and he's going to get those grenadiers out of there handily, giving up control of this south of the map almost entirely though. So that's an issue, and also Soviet forces kind of just pushing all over the map right now actually. But yeah, as I was saying, the counterattack tactics doctrine, you get the scout plane, which is incredibly useful, at least for me. You get the For Mother Russia, which I think they removed the downside of that, so it's just a straight buff now. It used to be you used to use it and get turbo stim on all your units, and then you'd have to like, they'd have like a cooldown where they were like really weedy and rubbish for a while as well. So yeah, I think they changed that so it has no cooldown. It's just good stuff now, that ability. You've got Stalin's Hammer, which is fantastic. The massive B4 mortar howitzer is very, very powerful, very, very potent, and will make your opponent have minor heart palpitations every time it fires. And then there's the KV-1, which is a stinking pile of rubbish. But, what is it, 145 fuel? Yeah. But it is very hard to kill, you know, at least early on. And you can take it reasonably early at 8 CPs, and you can hide your infantry behind it. So it's not like the worst thing in the entire world. Like, I have seen people use it and it not look terrible. I've even used it and done okay with it. It's just not a very good tank. If you can spend 145 fuel somewhere else, you'd probably rather do it. Anyway, so taking mid right now. Oh, Talisman though, pushing so hard. He's got the north of the map. The south is totally in his pocket, and he's kind of got control of mid right now. And it's probably only a matter of time before he establishes that triple cap. You know, he's so keen on going for wins. You know, he doesn't beat around the bush and try and fuck around with, like, you know, just killing you or just like pressuring your base, or he just goes for the VPs basically, as all the best players tend to. Oh, a nice predictive rifle grenade there, but actually just not quite on. Going to be a miss. Whoa, these marksmen caught out. Yep, they're going to fall back. But yeah, that rifle grenade there was an attempted squad wipe, but just mistimed. Now I wonder, that's not the kind of thing I would expect PanzerGrenadierAngreifen to get wrong most of the time. He's so experienced at these things. Oh my goodness me, Panzer Grenadiers and Assault Grenadiers just putting down one hell of a withering hail of fire there at point blank range. These conscripts indeed run. That's what they're going to do. Grabbing the cutoff here with the Grenadiers, and I have to say Angreifen is consistently excellent about grabbing his opponent's cutoffs. Like, he totally is down with the value of grabbing cutoffs. That is a massive thing. So yeah, he's going to grab that and fall back, and that just forces Talisman here to have to recap that point, which is kind of annoying. As Angreifen begins to feel his way back out onto the map with a capturing wave of infantry. Looks like 3 squads in the north and just 1 in the south for now, but more will be on the way. And it looks like a pack gun going to be the subsequent choice here for Angreifen, who's actually got a reasonable resource float here, and it will be very soon he'll be able to call in the Stug Light, so that will be pretty powerful stuff. Now, actually, I'm kind of surprised that Talisman isn't already got a Zis gun or something, because he knows what commander he's up against. The Assault Grenadiers were revealed like a turbo early, so he has to know that that Stugs will be here soon. I don't know, I feel like now is when you need to be building a Zis gun if you want it ready for those Stugs, and if you don't build a Zis gun, well then the Stugs just have free reign. Like, nothing in the top right here even remotely concerns a Stug. Well, I suppose the conscripts do a little bit, but I mean, you know, not really. Hang on, what just got squad wiped? I just totally missed a squad wipe, didn't I? Was that a conscript squad? I don't know. Hang on a second, have I got the German announcer on? Oh, I don't know. Oh well, there was a squad wipe somewhere. Yeah. I think it was Grenadiers? I think it was a Grenadier squad that got wiped, yeah. Anyway, here comes the Stug. Pack gun is here as well. So that Stug should do pretty well. It's going to at least push back all these infantry, I think. Oh, smoke coming down from Talisman. Whoa, 1 conscript here, just trying to stand off against Grenadiers. Whoa, who are just going to give up the fight, actually. And that conscript is going to GTF out. Okay, the Grenadiers giving up the fight because the marksmen are in the hood, that's why. Okay, yeah, so anyway, the Stug is here, it does reveal itself, and Talisman's army, not as big as you might imagine, because he's got the expensive shock troops, because he's got the expensive marksmen, because he's floating 500 and something manpower. Okay, now he gets a Zis gun, but there's a window here for this Stug to do a lot of work. He could even get a second Stug here, could Angreifen, and I don't even hate that choice. I think it would be quite nice. That would allow him to have 1 Stug, like, in this area of the map, where it can sort of help in any fights that occur, like, on this area that I'm panning around the camera now. Just by keeping the Stug in this area, it can affect all of those fights. And then you can have like 1 Stug down here in the south, just kind of, I don't know, like pushing up and down this kind of axis here. That seems reasonable to me. Oh no, the marksman here getting brutally caught out. The Stug would love to take a big bite out of them. Nom 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 nom. Gets one of them, and I'd love to get the other. The rate of fire on these Stugs ain't too bad either. Oh, he's going to chase. This is very risky because, you know, there could be AT mines out here. Oh, he really wants that marksman. He is not going to get it, but it's worth the chase, though, because they're just worth so much veterancy. And now he's going to start kiting back. Anti-vehicle grenades are finished on these conscripts, so he does have to respect the scripts here. Angreifen here pushing nicely, gets the MG42 into a good position. And remember, there's no mortar this time for Talisman, so that MG42 a lot more annoying to displace than it was last game. This gun here gets a good hit on the Stug. That's going to force that one back. I imagine there'll be some pioneers in the hood here to repair that one shortly. So the Zis gun is revealed. Angreifen knows that that's out there. Another pack gun getting added on for Angreifen. Wow, there's a lot of pack guns actually. Oh! That's a demo charge, ladies and gentlemen. And that was what, pioneers? No, those guys are. God damn it, it's so hard to tell what they are when they're gibbed. Oh, those were the Assault Grenadiers. Right. I think it was the Assault Grenadiers. So wow, yep. Man, demolition charges are so good. so good. Like, Soviet players who consistently remember and use their demo charges just do so well. Now the marksmen are picking down this MG, and unless the fullback comes down pretty soon, this is all kind of going pretty bad here for Angreifen. Oh god, that's a KV-1. So this MG42 is almost certainly forfeit. I mean, it's just stayed too long. Angreifen, what's going on with this? That's stayed way too long. And he's losing ground up in the north. The Stug gets totes countered by the KV-1. Oh, and there's this gun as well, just smashing that one down. And I kind of feel like it's all just fallen apart here for Angreifen. He's got no map control to speak of in the north, although he does still hold some points, but he's got no units up there, and the Soviets are eating it up. He's got not a lot going on in the south, because this KV-1 here is probably just going to be able to push him away. Watch out, because Talisman's really good at crushing. He's going to try and stay for the Faust, and he gets it, so that's kind of good. And what is that? Pat gun here, going to take a nice shot into that KV-1. Is this Pat gun for real? This Pat gun is apparently well up for the point-blank shots. Is he just going to try and attack ground through here or something? What is he doing? This is crazy. And another Stug is on the field. So, boom, going to start trying to do what it does. This Pat gun is so brave. But I think he's going to get the KV-1 out of it. Oh my goodness, really? Oh, he gets the KV-1? This is gross. I really didn't think that just waddling that Pat gun into the front of the KV-1 was going to be good enough. I just absolutely did not think that. Well, this is why PanzerGrenadierAngreifen's really good at the game and I'm not. Wow. I can't believe Talisman just left that KV-1 there. He should have been backing it up and bringing something in. Like, I don't know. Anyway, this marksman doing it solo now. He's nearly at 2 stars, so up to 12 kills. Well on his way into the range of kills that I was hinting at earlier, the 20, 30, 40 kind of numbers that I thought that squad may go on to get. As I just take a sip on my drink here. Oh, that's the sound of a rifle grenade. Where's that going? Oh, missed that. Anyway, yeah, so Soviet forces just totally capping up the north. That area of the map falling completely under Soviet control. The Stug doing its best to hold off the infantry here, but it actually just doesn't really have the DPS. Whoa, these Panzer Grenadiers actually kind of overrunning. There's a marksman on the run over here. They could lob a bundle grenade onto the Zis gun and then run after the marksman. That's the play I like here. But I don't think they go, whoa, he needs to think about falling these guys back now. There's shock troops in your rear, mate. Oh, no, he's going to stay. Oh, no, oh, goodness me. This is just, oh, really? This for sure is a dead Panzer Grenadier now, right? No, he's going to take the fullback going this way. Okay, so he may actually escape. This gun here doing a number on the Stug. That's going to force that one back. And, like, oh, my goodness me. Let's just look at the map here a second. Like, oh, so much Soviet map control. It's just horrendous. Is that another KV-1? Okay. Wow, that's like 290 fuel that Talisman has spent on KV-1s right now. I guess. I guess you could get another KV-1. I just don't really like it. Rifle grenade finds its way into the church there, doing some good damage to the conscripts inside, but it's not going to be enough to turn the fight, so the Grenadier's going to have to give away. Whoa, the Stug just coming into the fight arse first here is turbo awkward. That is not what you want to be doing. Absolutely not. And now the KV-1 comes in. The Pat guns are in the hood, though, and they are set up nicely, so that should be some holes appearing in this tank. Good hits there. The engine gets broken by the conscripts here who sneak in for the anti-vehicle grenade, so this Stug is stricken, which means that this KV-1 could think about circling round to try and get a KO blow. Oh no, the Pat gun also going down, so there's just one Pat gun left to try and hold off the KV-1 here. Gets set up, going to try and take some shots here. Is that an SU-76? No, it's a Zis gun. And Angreifen just totally getting besieged down right now. I mean, he's fighting on the doorstep of his base, which is never good. Talisman here putting on a fantastic show, an absolutely dominating performance so far. Really is only 35 victory points in it, though. 38 now. That is very close. Closer than I actually thought, based on how this game has gone. But, I mean, damn, what can you do if you're Angreifen in this situation? His back's up against the wall here. You can call in some Panzer Grenadiers in a 250 half-track. Okay, that's what you can do. Alright, I don't hate this, actually. Has he got Flammenwerfer Pioneers? No. What I see a lot of players do, of course, is you get the Flammenwerfer Pioneers into the 250 half-track, but the Zis gun actually going to get the final touch on the Stug light there, and that's a big shame, and I feel kind of needless. I think that Stug should have been further back getting repaired, or, you know, should have been retreated to the base to get repaired. I don't think it had any business trying to advance for advantage out in the middle of the map. Not quite sure what the decision-making was there to put those there. Anyway, these are Panzer Grenadiers. Actually going to get a fullback on these conscripts here. That's kind of nice. They might gun down another conscript. Oh, I can't believe they didn't get another one there. It's pretty unlucky. The 250 half-track gonna limp away.
Don't quite know what that's going to be doing. You never want to just lose that. I used to think that it was almost valueless, but it's actually not. It's actually a really useful unit to have around as the 250 half-track. Especially if you have those Flammenwerfer Pioneers. Ha ha ha. Anyway, nice defuse on another demo charge, I believe that was there. So, preserving his units. And Angreifen definitely not GGing out of this, it seems. I really thought he was almost done for. But he's going to grab some map control up in north. The Soviet player has had to fall back his entire army, which for the record is actually, according to the unit supplies at least, pretty small compared to the Axis one. We're used to seeing Soviets well ahead on the unit counting station. These PanzerGrenadiers need to run. Yep, there we go. Oh, shock troops are so dangerous. Oof, goodness me. He's going to get the fallback, but that was closer than I thought it might be. And the marksmen are on the field, so you want to be careful about falling back squads who are only on one man. Those marksmen could just end that. But anyway, MG42 is in a nice position. Marksmen are going to start knocking that down shortly, but it's in a nice position for now. And Angreifen going to be capping the north of the map. I love the amount of metal detectors he's broken out on his units, to be honest. I think you need that against Talisman, who has already this game achieved a couple of squad wipes off of big booms that have come out of the ground. Or at least one here. Yeah, Talisman just one of those Soviet players he's just good at all of the Soviet things, isn't he? You know? All of them. Like, he's good at mines, he's good at demo charges, he's good at conscript micro, he's good at marksman micro, he knows exactly the timings on, like, everything. He's just like all the Soviet stuff, he just has it down. Which in a way makes it easier, because, you know, it's just like, do the Soviets have it? Okay, well then he'll probably be using it and be using it well, so, you know, at least you can count on that from Talisman. It makes him oddly predictable in a way. It's like, he's gonna be good. Okay, so looks like this 250 half-track is going to rub ineffectually up against the church here. That's the sound of that KV-1. Now, where is it? Rumbling on down into the middle of the map at the moment. But this game actually is going through a little bit of a quieter phase than I was expecting here. This snipers in the building, though, means that this MG42... Oh, no, there's no fallback. Angreifen, there comes the fallback, but I fear it's too late. Now he needs to disembark these squads. Okay, yeah, the snipers do finish off the marksman. The KV-1 does finish off the 250. The marksman could actually get this retreating pioneer. Only one got out of there. Okay, they're not going to get them. Thank goodness. That would have been devastating for Angreifen if he'd have lost them as well. As it is, I mean, he can recrew that MG, so it's not the end of the world. Shame to lose the veterancy, but, you know, such is life. Oh god, the Zis gun here going to use a point-blank explosive barrage. That's so risky. Bundle grenade going to be used to relocate these stormtroopers. Oh, the PanzerGrenadiers need to GTFO. Oh no, that was just too far. Too far. They had no business running in there. Against shock troops and a marksman and a KV-1. Really? I don't know. I think that was just a mistake there from Angreifen. Did he think there were still 4 men in that squad? I don't know, but that seemed like an uncharacteristic mistake. I don't know why those PanzerGrenadiers were going this way. They should have... That looked like a flash fallback to me, but in the heat of the moment, perhaps he thought he could have got something else done. Okay, could have a rifle grenade here. Yep. Nope, just a fakey rifle grenade. And these grenadiers, again, they have no business being here. There's just too many Soviet squads here for them to do anything. MG42 does get recrewed up here in the north. Looks like some pioneers are going to recrew that one, so that's useful. Another squad added to the roster for Angreifen, and he absolutely needs those. He actually has Tiger CPs. I didn't even notice that. So, and he's kind of he's getting on for Tiger fuel. At the current rate of saving, it'll take him 4 minutes, but if he can just grab a fuel point for a second or two, it'll be a lot faster getting that Tiger. So he doesn't even have Tiger manpower either, but I don't know, like he could have a Tiger sooner rather than later in this game, like certainly before the 30-minute mark if he decides to start saving for that. So yeah, could be a Tiger, could be a Tiger. Whoa, Stalin's hammer is actually like being constructed. Oh dear me. How much range does this thing have on this map? Oh yeah, that'll be basing him. Nice. Okay, so this is cool because it means that Talisman, like when he forces fallbacks from PanzerGrenadierAngreifen's units, that's when he can target the B4, like just here. And there's just a really good chance you just bullseye all of the Axis squads, or at least any of the squads that you force to fall back. So I like that a lot. And Angreifen, let's not forget, he hasn't actually scouted this gun yet. So the first time that happens, it probably will be a surprise to him. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. This MG42 just getting picked down again. I feel like Angreifen's just letting in some sloppy mistakes, actually. Just a couple, not many, but... And now the marksman could try for the wipe on this MG. Oh, no, looks like they're firing their shots into the Panzergrens. Oh, no, the Panzergrens just hung out to dry. Angreifen, no! Get these guys out of here! Okay, they do fall back. I wonder if the marksmen are going to come this way and try for a killing shot. I don't think they are. Nope, okay. So he's going to be allowed to get out of there with his 3-star PanzerGrenadiers, which is, you know, that is a big deal. 3-star PanzerGrens are pretty good. Okay, so the B4 is ready. And there have just been a couple of squads forced back, so I wonder if Talisman is going to decide to fire this unit anytime. Nope, apparently not. Not right now. So that's the good old recon plane that we can see here. I'm just trying to catch that on the screen. That's the recon IL-2 just going for a little flyabout here. So all of PanzerGrenadierAngreifen's movements are now known. I can switch to Talisman and turn on Fog of War. There we go. So like he sees everything. He knows exactly what's going on. Oh, that was the B4. Christ. Oh, I missed that, didn't I? It got a hit on something. Here, okay, so it looks like it just grazed a building. I believe it just grazed the building. Got itself a teeny bit of veterancy, but nothing to write home about. So, first shell, a miss, but that's okay, because you get more. I like the idea of an MG bunker. I just don't think it was ever going to stand for long against the B4, the Ziska, and the KV-1, and all the other stuff that Talisman's toting here. 96 points between these two players as PanzerGrenadierAngreifen going to come here for another attack here. Lovely bundle grenade finds a Ziska, and that was beautiful. Ah, but the 3-star! The 3-star PanzerGrenadiers. You can't leave these guys out to dry like this, Angreifen. God damn, he's playing it so fast and close with those amazingly expensive elite infantry. Meanwhile, in the north, the MG42 is going to get displaced by conscripts and marksmen, and in the south, looks like Pioneer is going to get displaced by stormtroopers and engineers. So Angreifen pretty much on a flat-out fallback in mid as well. He's getting forced back by L wall of conscripts. B4 here, hoons in another shell. That one also a miss. So, but it does shatter this building, and I guess that's kind of annoying because that building is, you know, useful. That does represent utility for Angreifen, and that utility is now lost. So the B4, even if it's not getting kills, is affecting the battlefield here, literally affecting the landscape of the battlefield. Oh no, now sandbag walls are coming up here, and these conscripts are looking very well settled. And, I mean, we need a Tiger tank here, and you can see Angreifen desperately trying to get the manpower here. What is it, 630, 640? So he's going to have it here in about a couple of seconds. And that Tiger tank is going to be a big deal, actually. This army for the Soviet player is not equipped to deal with a Tiger tank. There are no Zis guns, and 2 KV-1s is like a laughable amount of AT. I mean, these things are basically pea shooters against Tiger armor. And the big cat is taking to the field just now, so alright, PanzerGrenadier, you're 130, 141 victory points behind, and you have a Tiger tank and a reasonable army, and this time, because it's not a Tiger Ace, you will have continued resource flow. So I do wonder, as the B4 takes another shot there, but I don't think it hit anything again. Did it hit these Panzergrens? No. So yeah, I think PanzerGrenadierAngreifen here with a real shot in this game now that the Tiger tank is here, and he knows his opponent's commander pick. There's going to be no IL-2, no ISU-152, no big tank shenanigans. So I think Talisman will be forced here to throw down a mechanized Reg HQ. Oh god, he doesn't have Tank V battalion command. Well, anyway, I think he really needs an Su-85 or 2, one way or the other. So I would love to see him try to get to mechanized regiment HQ or mechanized Campanile or whatever it's called, and get himself one of the tank hunters there. That would be really good. This Tiger tank probably wants to just come forwards. And, uh-oh, here are the KV-1s. They're going to try for some kind of... What is this KV-1 doing? That one's, like, reversing in is really awkward. The conscripts here get wiped, so that's a massive deal. Angreifen there, able to secure a squad wipe with the Tiger is very nice. Woof. Woof. Sorry, it's a cat, isn't it? Meow. Now, let's see. What is this? On the floor here, there's a thing. Why wouldn't it let me... Oh, is that a demo charge? Oh dear, Talisman, you're a nasty, nasty person. Alright, well, there's a demo charge. Oh, the Grenadiers! Oh, the Grenadiers! Dun 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 dun! Oh my goodness, 3-star Grenadier unit getting away with it there. Just getting away with it. And now the engine is broken on this KV-1, actually. I've only just noticed this. The Tiger tank here just continuing to take shot after shot. Now, if there's one thing KV-1s are, it is durable. So this Tiger tank going to be taking quite well. Oh, the B4 with a spanking round, and now there's another KV-1 in the rear arm of this Tiger. Oh, goodness me. Is that how you deal with a Tiger? Oh, that is work. Talisman, you're a bad and evil individual. I am in disbelief. I cannot believe he was able to set that up so that the B4 hit the Tiger so beautifully. Was that the direct fire round? I don't think it was. I think that was just a regular shot, to be honest. Because I don't think he had Veteran C1, and I believe you need Veteran C1 before you can use that ability. So I think that was just a regular round. And to be fair, I think Angreifen should have known better, to be honest, because like the B4 had been revealed, its rate of fire is pretty high. Like he had to know that there was another shell ready, and now he just, you know, it is over now. Look at the top left, it's over now. But I really think Angreifen should have just kept that Tiger moving. You know, that makes it a much harder proposition to hit with the B4. The B4 hadn't had any cracking hits up until that point, so it didn't really have any experience. So I think he was probably safe from the direct fire veterancy ability. In fact, I think if he wanted to, he probably could have overrun with the Tiger, punched on through, just come on through, and just, you know, gone for the B4 directly with the Tiger. But yeah, that's all come undone now for Angreifen. 3 KV1s on the field is quite intimidating, and that should be more than enough to ruffle stomp on into the base here. And yep, Angreifen knows it. He is going to GG on out of this one, and Talisman takes another very convincing game. I feel like Angreifen there, you know, he was definitely competitive through the early and mid game. If not, you know, he never really felt like he had the upper hand, but he was definitely looking okay. I think it was actually, although there were a couple of shaky moments, I think he steered the game to a lovely point where he had the Tiger tank coming out. And when that Tiger tank joined the field, I actually preferred PanzerGrenadierAngreifen's position. Yeah, he was trailing by like a little under 150 VPs, but his army was just way better. Like, it was just a better army. I liked it more, basically, than the army of Talisman. And I also think that Talisman was going to have a really hard time getting to a better army. So, you know, because he doesn't have the tech infrastructure. In fact, to be honest, I think there was like, it was almost the one way Talisman could have gotten out of that was if he B4'd the Tiger. You know, that was almost his Hail Mary. That was like, so I think Angreifen is probably going to feel a little frustrated. I know I would, because I really think he was on top in that game. At the moment the Tiger came out, it had been swings, it had been ups and downs until that time. You know, he'd had the upper hand probably, I would say, like 70-30, so he'd had the upper hand like for only 30% of the time, but he'd been competitive up until that point. Then the Tiger came on, and at that point I really think he could have gone on to maybe take the game. His position then looked very good, let's put it that way, I think. And then the B4 was just able to slug in and counter the Tiger, really. And the kill was guaranteed by the KV1s, which is, oh my goodness, it is a rare day indeed that you see a Tiger down by a KV1. But, I mean, turns out anything can happen with a B4 on the map. Yeah, Angreifen here just falls short. But I think that this was a much better game than the first game against Talisman. And I think that this game really kind of just came down to an error with that Tiger. I mean, there was lots else going on in this game, but I think that was the biggest single thing, was just leaving that Tiger still so that the B4 could slam it a shot there. From Talisman's point of view, not sure I like the commander pick, if I'm honest. I mean, yeah, he got some value for money out of his stormtroops, but lots of commanders give you stormtroops, you know. And let's see, I mean, the recon overflight was undoubtedly useful, so that's fair. It looks like he even used for Mother Russia here at the end. I didn't see him use it earlier on. He may have done. I wasn't actually paying too much attention. I don't think I saw it used, so I don't know. The B4 howitzer was actually amazing. So, and the KV1s were reasonable. So, okay, actually, on reflection, having thought about it, clearly Talisman did get good use out of this commander. I mean, he really did. Okay, fair enough. Okay, in which case that makes it very hard for me to criticize the commander pick, and I retract that criticism. The commander pick was sound from Talisman, as was just about everything else about his play. And clearly, like, he's just such a good player. The way he positions demo charges around the map is so intelligent. They're not quite in the spots you always expect them, like, you know, on the VPs and things like that, or on the edges of capture zones and stuff like that. But they're in places where, you know, your opponent's units are always going to be traversing very frequently, and you're just not quite aware. Like, this one here was borderline genius. Like, that's just not a spot that I would, you know, think to myself, oh, hang on, there could be a demo charge here, you know, like, and Angreifen the same, just kind of gets blown away by that one. And then there were other demo charges on the map. This one here could have been a squad wipe, but Talisman looking away at the moment when it could have gone off. But yeah, he's just so good, isn't he, Talisman? He just uses everything the army can offer. He has a full and complete understanding of the breadth of this faction, and probably all the others too. And it's fantastic to watch someone of his caliber in action. Like, it's just really nice. In fact, he's kind of so good at the game that it's like a little hard to cast, because like he just doesn't quite do things the way everyone else does. And I'm constantly looking at stuff he does, and I'm like, is this just bad, or is there some kind of hidden value he's getting out of this? And almost always it's the hidden value, because, you know, he's Talisman, he's amazing at this game. So yeah, I don't know, really cool to cast, but a little challenging as well. But that's good. That's good. I definitely appreciate that. So anyway, that is 2-0 now between these two players. I don't think that they are going for another bout, but if they are, I'm going to check the live games lobby here in a second. If they are, I will definitely save that replay. I probably won't cast it right now, but I'll cast it another time, because it would be sweet to cast another game between these two titans. So yeah, that concludes this battle. Thank you very much once again for watching, and for now, this is Magpie842 signing out. That didn't work.